welcome back to the channel for another unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the New York Butcher, aka Daniel Day-Lewis from Gangs of New York, Bill the Butcher himself. No, you're not seeing double, those people who subscribe to the channel. This is a second video. There are actually two versions of this figure. By Present Toys is the SP48, the blue version, which is the one we've already reviewed, which is, for argument's sake, we'll call it his butcher's outfit. That's the overcoat and the skull cap version. And then there's this one, which is the SP49, which is the red version, which is, shall we say, his more formal look that you see a couple of times in the film. Don't normally get two figures of the same character from the same film, but I was so impressed with the first one, and if you want to see a review of the first one, the skull cap version, the butcher version, there is a review of it on my channel, so have a look at that. This is the more formal version we'll be taking a look at today. So yeah, it's from the 2002 Scorsese film. Huge fan of Scorsese, and a huge fan of Gangs of New York. The film itself starred Leonardo DiCaprio, Cameron Diaz, and of course the man himself, Daniel Day-Lewis. So what we'll be doing, as always, is taking a look at the box, diving down onto the table, having a look at all the accessories that come with your New York Butcher. Then it'll be having a look at the figure itself, getting it on the stand, onto the turntable for a close-up look at the figure. And then, as always, it'll be over to the Detolf to see how this guy displays under the Detolf lights. What we'll probably do as well is we'll do a side-by-side comparison when we get over to the Detolf as well. I was more interested in the Butcher version, the skull cap version. I wasn't so interested in this version, but I thought I was so impressed with the first figure that I thought I'll go all in and get the second one as well. So this is new to me. It's only just arrived, so a voyage of discovery for all of us. So as always, we'll take a quick look around the box. It's relatively straightforward. You've got an image of Daniel Day-Lewis on the front here. I don't think this is, I'm pretty certain this is not the figure. It's a stylized view of Daniel Day-Lewis himself. You've got New York Butcher at the bottom here in red, white and blue, 1/6 scale collectible figure. Present Toys logo in the top left-hand corner. You've got this sort of old sepia tone photographs at the back, what looks like sepia tone photos of the actual original Gangs of New York themselves, which is the tale of the Confederates of the Confederation, should I say, of American natives, led by Bill the Butcher, and his battle with the Irish Catholic immigrants known as the Dead Rabbits for sway over the 5 Points in New York. But yeah, so we'll spin the box round. You've got this sort of stripe effect, which I'm assuming is meant to represent the American flag. Present Toys up the side. It's got this sort of wood grain. Obviously it's cardboard, but it's got this wood grain effect on it. It's the normal shoebox design. That sepia tone photograph is continued round the back. The rather puzzling hat, which we discussed in the previous review, which actually says Gangs of New York, and then it says March 2000 on there. Not sure the significance of that date, but what the heck. It wasn't the release date of the film, that's for certain. Yeah, on the back here, all the normal warnings. Don't piss this figure off, or it might dissect you into sirloin and rump. And that PTS SP49 at the bottom, the red, as we spoke about before. Those stripes continued on the side. Present Toys again on the top. You've got New York Butcher and some stars. The camera's picking that up. Yeah, so it's a relatively straightforward box, relatively simple box, as I said, shoebox design, bold but effective. So without further ado, let's dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with your New York Butcher. Okay, so here we are, down on the table. We've got all the accessories out of the box, so let's take a closer look at everything that you get with your Bill the Butcher figure. Those who have seen my previous review and know this figure will know, or know the other figure, will recognise most of these accessories because it's pretty much the same as you get with the skull cap version of this figure. Just a couple of slight variations. Obviously, there's the costume. So, as always, let's take a quick look at all the bits and pieces. We'll start with the hand. The hands, as you know, my hand fetish abounds. So let's have a quick look at the hands. There are two pairs here. That's four hands, and there's a couple of open palm hands on the figure itself. So you get 3 pairs in total of 6 hands. So let's have a quick look at them. let's see what Present Toys have done here. We've come across Present Toys hands before. It doesn't look like there's anything new to report here. The paintwork is okay. The sculpting is okay. It's not brilliant. It's not the best I've ever seen. There's no real fingernails on there, which I speak. There's probably only one or two paint applications on here. There's a little bit of vein work and a little bit of bone structure in there. Not brilliant. Let's do the flexibility test. It's the usual Present Toy story. Soft to medium, which is pretty good for posing. But yeah, not the best hands I've ever seen. Possibly not the worst I've ever seen though. So yeah, it's the normal story of Present Toys hands here. There's two gripping hands. They all look like gripping hands, these actually. Yeah, they are. They're all gripping hands, so I'm assuming this is for the variety of knives that we've got in the knife belt itself. But yeah, they're all gripping in one way, shape, or form. So I'm assuming they are to hold the, as I say, the different knives in this belt. And then there's the open palm hands on the figure itself, so we'll put those to one side. Nothing out of the ordinary there, usual Present Toys stuff. What else do you get with your figure? There's also this stick, cudgel, shall we call it? Now, I believe this cudgel was actually used by the character played by Brendan Gleeson in the film. Walter Monk McGinn, I think his name was. And it had notches in it. For all the people, one notch for everybody he killed, and the good news is there are lots of notches in here. As before, as we mentioned in the previous review, I'll try and get the light in here a little bit more so you can see this. The paint applications and the sculpting on this is pretty good. It's all one piece of plastic. There's black at the end here, pretty well sculptured. There's graining in there to make it to give it that wood effect, and there's washers. There's a dark wash over the top there. There's a pleather strap on wrapped at the base here, which looks pretty screen accurate and pretty authentic. And yeah, overall pretty good. Sculpting's good, paintwork's good, and yeah, pretty screen accurate. So that's the cudgel. We'll put that to one side. What else do you get? This is the difference between this and the skullcap version, the top hat. The top hat is slightly different, although it looks pretty much like it's the same sculpt to me. They've used the same cast. It's just a different colour. It looks like it's just been painted differently, or it's a different coloured plastic. But yeah, pretty much the same story. All one sculpted piece of plastic. There's no band here. This is brown as opposed to, I believe it's black and blue on the other version, on the skullcap version. But his, shall we say, formal wear, he wore a brown hat, which is screen accurate. It would have been nice to see a proper material strap around this top hat, but as with the other figure, the proportions are correct and relatively screen accurate. But yeah, would have been nice to see a proper band around there, but it is what it is. So that's your top hat. What else do you get with your figure? Let's take a look at this belt, this rather wonderful pleather belt. And as I mentioned in the previous review, I wasn't surprised this time, but I was surprised the first time I saw the other figure. All the knives in this pleather belt, and I believe it is pleather, are real metal. And I believe they have wooden handles as well. So let's just take one out as an example. I would say exercise caution taking these knives out, because this is not the sturdiest of belts. Yeah, having it on the figure as well, as I mentioned in my previous video, might be a good idea if you're going to have it on the figure, is to maybe take some or all of the knives out, because there's a lot of weight here. But yeah, let's take a closer look at one of these knives. And as you can see, the attention to detail here is absolutely excellent. This really impressed me first time round, and I'm impressed again. What you've got here, I believe, I'm not sure whether these are wooden handles or whether they're plastic, but they look wooden to me. There's metal rivets in there. It's all one piece of metal. There's some paint washes on the blade itself to give it that sort of aged look. Good news is it's not too sharp, so hopefully there won't be any injuries out there, but always exercise caution. But yeah, these knives really impressed me the first time around. Let's take a look at another one. I won't go through all of them, but take my word for it, they're all of the same high quality. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, once again, you've got that what looks like dry brushing on the blade there to give it that sort of weathered and used effect. The handles are really, really well done. All one piece of metal, and I believe these are wood. Could be plastic. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comment section if they are plastic. But yeah, very, very impressive, especially at this price point, as I mentioned before. To actually produce these kind of accessories, as I say, at this price point is, and let's see if we can't get this cleaver out, is very impressive. It doesn't want to come out this time. When I reviewed the other figure, this thing came out first time. Some of these can be quite stiff. This is the first time I've had this figure out the box, as I mentioned, and this one does not want to play ball. Okay, I don't want to damage this pleather, so I'm going to try and ease this out carefully. I'm assuming it's because it's first time out since it exited the factory, but yeah. And it's the same story with the cleaver. This has got some heft to it simply because of the amount of metal you've got here, but yeah, same dry brushing, solid metal, wooden handle, I believe. Yeah, just very screen accurate and very, very well made. So that's the belt with the knives in. This pleather belt isn't the sturdiest. It is quite thin pleather, so I would exercise caution if you're taking these knives in and out on a regular basis. You're reposing, maybe wanting to use a different knife, and also exercise caution when you've got it on the figure itself because of the weight, as I mentioned. But yeah, it's not the sturdiest of pleather. It doesn't feel, it feels wafer thin in places. So yeah, would have been nice to have seen a leather belt, but at this price point, I think we should consider ourselves lucky that we got metal knives. So yeah, that's the rather nice belt and knives. We'll put those to one side. What else do you get? As before, with the previous figure, there's a small glass of whiskey. It's plastic with orange plastic inside, so it resembles whiskey. So yeah, you get that as well. There's this chopping board, butcher's block, whatever you want to call it. It's just a simple piece of plastic with some wood grain effect on it, and yeah. That's there if you want it as well. So I'll put that to one side. The elephant in the room, or should I say the pig in the room, is the pig's head. Now, the sculpting on this is actually very, very good. I mentioned this before. I was quite impressed with this for a pig's head. But yeah, it's got some nice detailing on it. The blood paint there is nice and glossy. So it looks quite effective, and it's pretty well sculpted and quite gruesome at the back there. Got all the internal workings, and that gloss paint's continued. But yeah, a pig's head. So there you have it. We'll put it on the butcher's block, which is, I'm assuming, is where it's supposed to go. This little bag here, I won't take these out on camera. I will actually attach these off camera because with the first figure I very nearly lost this little pin here. But there's a little, and the camera's catching this, but there's a little card in there, a label with a hole in it that says Today B, and a little plastic nail stroke pin, and you simply push this into, there's a little hole here. You can see that on camera, yeah. Push the pin in there with the label attached to it, and also as well you get a 6-scale pipe. Yeah, it's all plastic. We'll get this out, as I say, when we get the figure out and we get it displayed. But yeah, this is a 6-scale version of the wooden pipe, the white wooden pipe that Bill smokes on a regular basis in the film. So that's your pipe, your pin, your label, your pig's head. I think the only thing remaining is the base, and it's the usual Present Toys fare, the usual story here. A straightforward oval base with a sticker on it, nothing too fancy. Once again, it's got, as with the other figure, and as on the reverse of the box, it says Gangs of New York, March 21st, 2008. You have to forgive me, I thought it said 2000 when we were looking at the box. Still not sure what the significance of that date is, but it is what it is. I believe it says a Martin Scorsese film at the top there, but yeah, oval base, relatively simple. Won't be using it. As viewers to my channel will know, I am not the biggest fan of these oval bases, so I'll be using either a custom base or another diorama base that I have. And with that, as always, standard issue crotch grabber. So yeah, there you have it. We'll put that in off camera because they can take some finagling. So that's all the accessories that come with your figure. So without further ado, let's bring out the main event himself. Let's get Bill the Butcher out in formal wear and take a look at what he's all about. Okay, so here he is, straight out of the box, straight onto the stand and straight onto the turntable. The Bill the Butcher figure. First-hand impressions and first thoughts. A difficult one. It was always. I know this is personal taste, and it was always going to be difficult because I prefer the other look. I really do. I think it's more iconic, and yeah, I wasn't taken with this on the first in-hand impressions. But it's starting to grow on me. I've had a couple of minutes with it before we got him onto the turntable. But as always, we'll take an up-close and personal look at him and all the details of the outfit and the head sculpt and everything else. The first thing that did strike me was this overcoat, and I'm pretty certain the material is not screen accurate and the colour is not screen accurate. The rest of the costume, well, we'll get to that, but yeah, let's do as we always do. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Let's stop him spinning first of all. Let's hope the turntable cooperates, because as viewers to my channel know, this turntable has a life of its own. So yeah, we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. Let's bring him a little bit closer into camera, but try not to cut his head off. Yeah, straight out of the box, I had a problem with these feet. They're all one piece of sculpted plastic. They're pegged into the body, and they were hanging off when it came out of the box. This wasn't the case with the other figure. I know it's present toys. We're working to a price point here, but yeah, the feet were literally hanging off the figure itself. The holes which the pegs go into in the shoes were not the right size. So I've done a little bit of finagling just to get him to stand up, but off camera and after this video, I'll be having to do some work on those holes to make them slightly larger so that the pegs fit in. But let's just cross our fingers that it doesn't go arse over tit during this review. That will be very embarrassing. But yeah. Okay, let's, as I say, let's start with the feet. They're all one piece of sculpted plastic. There's no real weathering on here. That's yet another addition to my need-to-be-weathered list, which is growing larger by the day. But yeah, they're all one piece of sculpted plastic. There's no split-cut boot design here, and that leads up to... And let's open this coat. I won't be taking this coat off, I don't think, during the review, but we'll open it up, so... yeah, because it's relatively up, and yeah, he is not the most stable on his feet at the moment due to that peg issue. So bear with me if he looks like he's going to fall over. Yeah, these pants are rather nice. They're a cotton material. They're a bit scrunched up at the bottom here, so because of the peg issue with the feet. But the colouring's good. The pinstripe is good. The tailoring looks pretty good. The material's okay. The colouring is, I believe, screen accurate, because there were two sort of formal wear versions that he wore. There was the one, which I believe is this one, where he went to the theatre and Amsterdam saved his life. And then there was a second version, which was much lighter. The waistcoat was lighter and the trousers were lighter, with a more sort of a cream and a purple pinstripe. I think that was when he was at the docks, greeting the new arrivals to New York. But yeah, so relatively screen accurate, perhaps not 100%, but yeah, the trousers are pretty nicely done. They're quite well stitched. They've got that long-legged look that Daniel Day-Lewis has, and that was accentuated in the film by these high-waisted trousers. But yeah, so pretty good there. The waistcoat itself is a nice material. There's a nice pattern in there. The stitching's very good. These pockets aren't functional. There's a gold I believe this is metal, this chain, and I think it should loop into there, but I'm not 100% certain. I will have to check. But it was hanging free when I got it, so I'll have to check that that's not become detached in transit. And a couple of these buttons had fallen off straight out of the box, so prior to getting them onto the turntable, I had to reattach them. They needed re-gluing, an issue I didn't have with the other figure either. But as I say, this price point, sometimes there are inconsistencies with the QC and the QA, shall we say. But yeah, the waistcoat itself is, let's spin him round so you can, I mean, this coat will come off relatively easily. There's a white cotton shirt underneath there, which is quite nicely done, quite nicely stitched. The waistcoat itself, it's got a satin feel at the back. The stitching's nice. There's a belt on there. In actual fact, let's just lift this off the stand for a second and see if we can't actually get this into camera so we can see it. Yeah, these the stitch work on that waistcoat is very, very nice. There is as I say, a satiny feel to it, and I believe that feels like metal. The actual the waist adjuster on the waistcoat itself, on the vest itself, is metal, which is a nice touch. So yeah, simple plain white cotton shirt underneath with 6 scale. I think they're studs. Yeah, there are studs underneath those 6 scale buttons, which are just there for display purposes. We've got a black bow tie. And then obviously the elephant in the room is this coat itself. Now I have to say, let's just get his arms back down. Yeah, I'm not struck by the colour on this. It's too bright. I think it was a more subdued red in the film itself, and there's a couple of other issues with it as well. Is the actual material they've used here? It feels like, how can I describe it? It's like a microfiber cloth, like a cheap microfiber cloth that you use for cleaning electrical items or things with lenses, and it does not feel very nice in the hands. I'll be honest, it feels cheap, and I know we're working to a price point, but the overcoat with the other figure was relatively thin material, but just felt and looked more screen accurate to me. So the colour's off on this, and I did notice as well. I mean, it's got a satin feeling lining sewn into it, but it's not actually sewn at the bottom here. So I don't know whether you can see this, but it just doesn't. No, it looks like an afterthought. They're not even stitched the lining in properly there, which is a bit disappointing. It is. But I mean, it's collared well. It's got buttons on there. There are pockets. They're non-functioning, those pockets. The stitch work is quite good. But yeah, there's something about that coat that just, I don't know. It feels wrong to me. What are your thoughts? Have you got this figure? Are you an aficionado of Gangs of New York? What do you think of this coat? But to me, it's slightly off. But yeah, there you have it. That's the outfit itself. So one head sculpt with this figure. Let's have a chat about that before we get him into the detail. I believe there's 30 points of articulation on this figure. The body and the proportions are good, as far as I can see. But this head sculpt, now, it is growing on me. It's a difficult one. It's a sort of, to get this smile, this rather menacing smirk that he has on his face, is not easy, but it is starting to grow on me. I mean, the paint applications are pretty good. I'll see if I can bring him in without... let's just lift this camera up a little bit, and let's bring him in a little bit closer and alter the lighting a little bit as well. I think that's a little bit better, hopefully. So yeah, skin texturing is good. The paint applications are quite good on the moustache, on the face. Actually, when I get close, and this is the first time I've got really, really close with this figure, it's actually a lot better than I thought when I first took it out of the box. Yeah. Now, whether this is a recast, I think possibly the other figure is. I sort of would hazard a guess that it is a recast. I know there were a lot of very expensive high-end custom jobs of this particular character and figure, and whether these are recasts, I don't know. I don't want to cast aspersions on Present Toys. Present Toys, I have a lot of their figures in my collection, and very good they are to do. But what do you think? Does anybody out there know? Well, let me know in the comments section. I'd be really interested to hear. Is this a recast? Is it an original sculpt? If it's an original sculpt, I'm actually growing to like this. There's the 5 o'clock shadow under there. There's the lines around the eyes. The eyes are very narrow and slit-like. The one good eye is glassy. It's accurate in as much as you've got the slightly off-coloured eye. They've got the blue eye and the brown eye, which is screen accurate. The hair is pretty well sculpted. You can see individual strands in there. Actually, I'm liking this head sculpt. The more I look at it, the more I like it. The movement there is pretty good. I believe it's pegged. It's growing on me. I think it might be a case of maybe getting a more screen accurate coat, or taking the coat off entirely. Actually, might be something that I'll look at, because I'm not happy with this coat. But the head sculpt, as I say, is growing on me. So that is an up close look at the figure itself. So without further ado, we'll do what we always do. We'll get him into a pose, get him over into the detolf, take a look at how this guy displays, and maybe bring out the other figure as well and do a side-by-side comparison as well, and then wrap this whole thing up. So without further ado, it's over to the detolf. Okay, so here we are over at the detolf with the Bill the Butcher figure. We've got him on the Thanos battle-damaged Endgame stand, which is one that I tend to use, as viewers to my channel will know, for all manner of figures. So how does this guy display? Well, actually now I've got the hat on, got him into a pose, and got him into the detolf. My opinion's improved somewhat. I am growing to like this figure. It does have its faults. Those feet are a pain in the backside. The body is not brilliant by any stretch of the imagination. That overcoat, as we've already discussed down on the table, is not screen accurate, not the best quality in the world, but yeah, those are the faults. What are the good points? Well, let's get up close with him. And the good points, that head sculpt's actually growing on me. The outfit underneath the not very good overcoat is pretty good, actually. It's quite impressive. The accessories are great. As with the other figure, the fact that they've included metal knives is brilliant at this price point. It really is. Let's take a closer look at that head sculpt. I've got him in a sort of how can I put this? Neutral yet aggressive pose, smoking his pipe but holding a knife simultaneously. Haven't put the belt on him simply because when he appeared in the film in this outfit, he didn't wear the belt. Let's have a closer look at that outfit. The tailoring is okay. It needs some work around the feet area, but I think that's down to those feet not being pegged in properly. Getting him to stand on his own was a bit of a nightmare as well. Once again, that's the feet issue. But the tailoring is pretty good. That coat aside, let's have a close-up look at that head sculpt. And as I said, this head sculpt is beginning to grow on me. The likeness is most certainly there. Getting that smiling face was not easy, and they've got the head sculpt 100% in my opinion. The paintwork is very good. The wrinkling, the skin texture, the 5 o'clock shadow, the paint applications, the eyes are nice and glassy. Even the one that's meant to be sort of milky, it's very, very good. Apart from a few minor niggles, I'm actually growing to like this figure quite a lot. Well, what we'll do next is we'll get the other version of Bill the Butcher out. We'll get him into the detolf as well, and we'll do a bit of a side-by-side comparison. Normally don't do this on this channel. We normally look at figures on their own, but I think it might be worth a comparison, shall we say. So let's cut to the pair of themselves. Okay, so here we are with both of the Present Toys Bill the Butcher figures side by side. We've got them on the TB League Vice and Bloodshot base. Getting these two guys to stand up next to each other was incredibly difficult, especially the version on the right, the formal wear version, as I say. Problem with the feet, but that's got my work cut out for me, forgive the pun. after this review's complete. I'll be having to do some work on those feet, but yeah. So what do they? How do they compare to each other? How do they stand up against each other? Completely different, obviously, in costume. I prefer the costume on the left, I've got to be honest, but seeing them side by side, I think I'm actually preferring this head sculpt, to be perfectly honest with you. I think there's more detail in there, there's more creasing on the face. It looks genuinely more lifelike than this version, and I thought this version was fantastic. This version is a lot smoother. The paint applications are different. The skin texturing is different. It looks younger, to be honest with you. This one looks more like Daniel Day-Lewis at the age he was when they made Gangs of New York. But there you have it. That's the pair of them together. It's not without its faults. Excuse me. And the figure's not without its faults, but as a pair, I think they work quite well together. I'm starting to slowly change my opinion. I think I may have to get some kind of custom coat for this, because I think it would look far superior with a more screen accurate coat. That head sculpt, very, very good. Some QC issues. The outfit underneath is pretty good, if not 100% screen accurate. The accessories are fantastic with those metal knives. Bit unfortunate they're on a pleather belt, which will probably fall apart after 6 weeks, but you can't have everything. As we have said on numerous occasions, present toys work to a price point, and I think they've done a pretty good job here. Not without its faults, but overall it's fairly impressive, and that head sculpt really is starting to grow on me. So there you have it. That's Present Toys Bill the Butcher formal version, alongside the unformal version, shall we say, the Butcher version. And that about wraps it up for this review. As always, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. We have plenty more content coming up, plenty more reviews. What we got coming up? In the not too distant future, we've got Mars Toys Mr. W, aka Michael Keaton. The Tux version from the '89 Batman. We're going to be delving into the 12 scale world. That'll be coming up soon. Plenty more retro unboxing and reviews. We've also got an updated tour video coming soon. What else are we expecting? Oh yeah, Trick or Treat Studios. Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance from Halloween. Really looking forward to that. Have yet to have a good take on that figure in my collection. We've got Present Toys again with Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, Javier Bardem, and we'll also be delving into the 1/4 scale statue world as well. So all that's coming up. So please hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. So that about wraps it up. All that remains for me to say is it's goodbye from me, goodbye from the two Bill the Butchers. Take care of yourselves and happy collecting.